So at the end of March 2025, I moved £10,000 into a Monzo bank account, and that is because I decided I was going to move to Da Nang, Vietnam for at least 6 months. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how much I spent from April to the end of September, currently at the start of October, so yeah, 6 months in total, just under, but yeah. This is how much I spent in 6 months in Da Nang, Vietnam. So if you're planning to move to Vietnam, or you're just curious about the general cost of living here compared to other places in the world, then this video is for you. Now, first things first, I chose Monzo as my travel bank account of choice because with Monzo, there are pretty much no international fees and the exchange rate is very, very good compared to high street banks. I'll just put a little example on the screen now of when I accidentally used my Lloyds card. I think it was for around £13 and they charged me an extra £1. So obviously if you're using a Lloyds card or anything like that, every tenner you spend, you pretty much lose £1 and you get a really bad conversion rate. So yeah, Monzo is the way to go. No fees, good exchange rate, and yeah, quick and easy to set up. If you do want to get started with Monzo and you don't have an account, I will leave a link to sign up below. We both get a mystery reward of up to £50, I think. So yeah, helps me out, helps you out, and yeah, Monzo link in the description. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the spending. So I'm pretty much going to go through my spendings month by month. Obviously, starting with April, going through to the end of September. So yeah, starting with April, I landed in Vietnam on the 15th of April. So we've only got half a month to work with here. Yet despite that, I still spent £1,120. And you might think that seems like a lot. How did I spend over £1,000 in just 2 weeks? And it's pretty easy, to be honest, because I paid for my hotel on arrival and I also booked another hotel for the following month. So yeah, it adds up very quick. And one thing I will also say now is Grab. You can obviously order food and transport on Grab. Monzo classifies Grab as transport. So throughout the video, you will see the transport being very, very, very high. But just remember, there's a lot of food mixed in to that transport category pretty much. One thing that I want to add in now, just before I forget, is you can actually pay by card in a lot of places in Vietnam. You know, a lot of people come to Southeast Asia, they think you need loads and loads of cash, you won't be able to pay by card anywhere. But that's not the case, especially obviously if you're in the cities, the more built up areas, you can get by with card. Obviously, having cash does help because not everywhere takes a card, but a lot of places do. And also the good thing with Monzo is you can withdraw, I think, £300 a month cash without there being a fee, and then after £300 there is a slight fee. So what I do, I just withdraw about £200 a month cash. Never usually spend it all, but you know, it's there if I need it, and it's just good to have on you. But if you are wondering about the card situation, you can definitely pay with cards in most places. Okay, so moving on to May now, which was the most I spent in a single month of being in Vietnam. So in May, I spent £1,889, and that wasn't, Tommy?
I just want to wave.
Just want to wave. The £1,889 wasn't just spent in Da Nang. In May, I also went to Hanoi and did the Ha Giang Loop. So that little week adventure cost me probably about £700 on its own. But you've got to do those experiences when you're in different countries. So that spending was completely justified. And you've got to think, if you're doing an experience like the Ha Giang Loop in Europe, for example, where you go on a 4-5 day motorbike adventure, you know, it's going to cost you triple, 4 times the price. So I think what I spent there was completely fine, to be honest, for the experience I had. I also bought 2 Oasis tickets in Australia in the month of May. So that is also why I spent so much money in May. I'll be going there November the 1st, no doubt film something, so look forward to seeing that. Okay, so moving on to June now, and this was another big spend month. It would appear I'm not very good at moving to one of the world's cheapest countries and budgeting, because in June I spent £1,793. Now, it seems like a lot, but there was a very good reason. So in June, I decided to book 3 months at the hotel I was staying at in advance, because they gave me a very good rate if I booked for a long period of time. And it also meant I didn't have to worry about finding new accommodation, paying for new accommodation and rebooking new accommodation for the next 3 months. So I thought, might as well just book 3 months, and that cost me £900 for 3 months at the hotel where I'm staying at. And in June, I also did a lot of the tourist activities that you can do in Da Nang. So I went to Lady Buddha, Marble Mountains, Banner Hills. Thought while I'm here, get all the tourist stuff out of the way nice and early. And you know, obviously the tourist stuff here is cheap to do, but if you're doing them all in one go, back to back, going out at night, you know, you're gonna spend quite a bit of money. So yeah, that's what I got up to in June. Okay, so moving on to July, and this was the least amount of money I spent in a single month at £1,022. And you know, this was because obviously I already paid for my accommodation 3 months in advance, so I didn't have to worry about that cost. Did the tourist activities the month before, as well as obviously the Hajang Loop in Hanoi. So I was a little bit burnt out from travelling, doing touristy things. So July, I kind of just locked in, focused on work, and didn't really do a great deal other than go to co-working spots, go to the beach, yeah, and just get work done really. Pretty much the only thing that I did in July worth mentioning that cost a bit of money was my birthday weekend in Hue. We went there for how many days? Two nights. 2 nights in Hue. Hotel was 5-star hotel. Cost like £25, £30 a night. Very cheap for what it was. And yeah, you know, you can have some really top tier experiences in Vietnam on a very low budget. You know, keep comparing it. But if you went to a 5-star hotel in Europe, you're spending £200 a night easily. But you know, we're not in Europe, we are in Vietnam. One expense I just want to quickly mention that I pay out every single month is of course travel insurance. Now the travel insurance company I use is a company called Travelwing. They cost around $50 for the type of insurance that I get every single month. I haven't had to use them yet, but it was a very simple sign-up process. The website is very clean, very user-friendly. So if you are looking for travel insurance, I do recommend SafetyWing. I'll leave a link to sign up to them in the description. If you sign up, I get $20 credit, you get $20 credit. So it is a win-win for both of us. Okay, so moving on to August now, which was another very low spend month, as far as I'm concerned anyway, at £1,180. Now, similar to July, I didn't really feel like doing a great deal in August other than working and just generally living day-to-day life. So yeah, there's nothing really worth noting that I did in August, but as usual, I'll leave a breakdown of the categories on the screen. Feel free to pause and read the categories. Can't really be bothered to go into a breakdown of each category. So yeah, pause the video and read what I spent my money on. And that now brings me on to my final month, which is September. Now in September, I spent £1,715. And you might think that is a lot of money, and of course it is quite a lot of money to say I'm living in Vietnam, which is known as one of the world's cheapest countries. But my hotel actually ran out in September, so I had to book some extra accommodation, and I also had to book future travel plans for October. So I'm going to Singapore on the 9th of October, and then I'm going to Malaysia, then I'm going to Australia, so I had to book couple of flights, couple of hotels, and yeah, you know, to say I still only spent £1,700 and I booked 3 flights, couple of hotels, I think that is very, very reasonable. Again, like I did in the previous months, I'll leave a breakdown of the categories on the screen. So that is my 6-month breakdown of how much money I spent living, working in Da Nang, Vietnam from April to September. So to break that down further, I've spent just over £9,000 in 6 months. And if you break that down, you know, it works out to £1,600 a month on average, or around £55 a day, which I don't think is too bad at all for the lifestyle I've been living. Tommy, isn't that a lot of money?
No, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right, you know.
You would spend triple in, or maybe not triple, but double at least in the UK.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have a good time. You know, it's a Saturday, we're on the beach, we're chilling with our coconuts, and we're having a good time. So, you know, £9 is replaceable, but being 27 is not. So I've fully enjoyed my time and I do not regret the £9,000 I've spent. So I think if you're coming to Da Nang or Vietnam in general, I think what you want to do is budget for around £1,500 a month. You know, a lot of people say you can do Da Nang on £800 a month, and you definitely can, but you're not going to have as good of a time. And you know, while you're here, you might as well have the best time you possibly can. And also, if you're budgeting for £1,500 a month, that gives you a little bit of breathing room for making future plans, you know, booking future flights, future accommodation, like I have done with my money. So yeah, £1,500 I think is the sweet spot if you're looking to visit and live in Da Nang for a longer period of time. And that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you found this video useful and insightful. And if you are looking to visit Da Nang, then leave a comment on this video and let me know when you're thinking of coming. And yeah, I'll see you in next week's.